All right, here we go. Welcome, everybody. We will start. Oh, first, for those of you who may be just joining or are watching this recorded, if you have a wall, a chair, and some blankets or towels, that would be nice. If you have a yoga bolster, that's an extra bonus. And our practice today is a cooling practice. We'll start sitting in Baddha Konasana at the wall, or it can be like up against a bed or up against a wall or furniture or door. But so that unlike the way that we usually start practice, we'll start with a bit of support both behind us and beneath us. So I've got two like standard yoga blankets stacked up here. They're stacked, folded the narrow way. You can have yours taller. You can have yours like you can, if you fold them the other way, like that, they'll, they're a little bit thicker. So if you feel like you want a little more height underneath there, and then this is our arrangement to start. We'll sit and use the wall at our backs. You can adjust your cushion. Like if I put my cushion all the way up against the wall, it's not really like under my bum in a way that feels supported. And you can either cross your legs or, as I mentioned, Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of the feet together and send the knees out to the sides. And the other thing that the wall or the support will give you is this sense of feedback of where vertical is. So again, if you want to change the height to go up or down, like my knees are fairly high in this pose, and so I usually like about two blankets or a bolster underneath them. If my knees were a little higher, I might want to lift up a little more. If my knees are really low, I could go either high or low. We want to set things up so that we're comfortable. And if there's any discomfort in the hips, in the hip joints or in the knees, grab your blocks or whatever or extra towels and smush something underneath so that it kind of catches the legs. It just makes the work of the legs a bit less effortful. And sometimes if there's any feeling of like discomfort or torquing in the knees, having that extra bit of support can stabilize things. So oh, hi, kitty. I was like, the curtain's moving because there's a cat behind it. Hello. I know this is a new setup, girl. She's like, what's happening? So as the cat explores this new situation, you're going to explore inside your body. You can have your eyes open or closed. That part is up to you. If your eyes are open, have your gaze slightly downward, like toward the cheeks. In general, in yoga, a slightly downward gaze is considered more kind of quieting and calming, an upward gaze more energizing, uplifting. And so see, like do the experiment in your own body and see, well, does it feel like that to you right now? And especially if, regardless of what your yoga teacher says it might feel like, if any breath practice is feeling agitating, you might test it out for a few rounds of breath to see if things change. But you are free to not do anything that your mind, body, inner sensory system is saying no thanks to. You have agency, of course, over your own body. Excuse me, kitty, that's my seat. Apparently the cat has agency over my body. And as you sit here, let the sitting bones, those little bony points at the bottom of your pelvis, let them anchor you down and allow the spine to lengthen upwards. Sometimes I like to think of the spine like a big stem of a plant, like a sunflower, like a sturdy stalk, and your head is the flower. So let your sunflower head lengthen upwards and your sunflower spine be sturdy yet flexible, and everything from the navel up, lifted up toward the sun, and from the pelvis down, a sense of being anchored, grounded. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And you might take the hands to the legs and we'll slightly reposition. Scooch the feet apart and stretch the legs out. And as you stretch the legs out, see how that lift feels. So if your hamstrings are tight, this extra lift might be just the thing to make it more comfortable for the backs of the legs where they don't get a too much stretch. For me, I happen to have really long hamstrings and my knees tend to kind of overdo it and lock out. So I like to take my support down so that I'm at ground level, because that's what's comfortable in my body. So find the position that works for you, either remaining up on the support or dropping down lower if that serves you well. Letting the legs stretch out. There may be a little bend in the knees, that's fine. If the legs are comfortable straight, then have them straight. And as you settle into this somewhat different position, again, send your roots down, elongate the spine. You might rest your hands or fingertips on the ground, or if the support beneath you extends out to where your hands are, you can rest your hands on that support. And breathe. Feel the support behind you. The back of the pelvis supported, the upper back supported. And depending on the carriage of the head, the back of the head may be supported. It may or may not be touching anything. Right? If the head carriage is a touch forward, it may not be comfortable to keep the head upright and have it touch the wall. So have the head upright and the chin level, and the back of the head as close to the wall as possible. And breathe here. A generous inhale, and take your time with the exhale. The crown of the head is lengthening upwards, yet the shoulders are melting downwards. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And stay right here for a few more breaths. And as you do, just check my music here. As you do, we'll switch position. This is a chair version of Janu Shirsasana. So, In this case, we're not looking to go super low. So sometimes when we do this pose, we're aiming to like really get down close to the leg. Not so much in this case. We're going to give ourselves some space. So I've got my leg under the chair. Now, if your support is kind of off to the side, you can put your leg outside if you've got some other furniture that you're using, like a couch or something where if the leg doesn't go underneath, if there isn't space there. And then I'll put a blanket over here, and this really is just for my own comfort for my head. And as I lean forward, I might add extra lift, extra blankets or support. I might fold my arms. And I'm facing toward the support. And as you face toward the support, when you start to tilt forward, go just to the point where it feels like, oh, well, this is reasonable. It should not feel like an arduous amount of stress or tension in any area. And the support ideally is high enough that you don't have to strain to go down to reach it. If it feels like you're trying to push your torso down to get to the support, it just means the support needs to be higher. Good. Stay right there. Take an inhale at your normal pace. Slightly stretch out the exhale. Inhale at your normal pace. And take a little extra time with the exhale. Supported poses and forward bends and long exhales are all considered cooling in our practice. Stay here for a few more breaths. Now gently ease yourself up. Keep the neck nice and easy. The back of the neck is long. It's almost like you're sleepy as you're coming up to change legs. Bend the other knee out to the side. Sit tall. And as you move in on this second side, feel free to make any adjustments if this side would like something a little higher or lower. And although it wasn't mentioned on the first side, this is another place where, if you like, you can bend the knee, you can place a little extra support underneath that bent knee. If it's comfortable, leave it be. And breathe. Notice the back of the neck. Breathe down the upper back, mid back, low back. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Same thing here, normal inhale and a slightly stretched out exhale. Take a few more breaths right here. Now very gently ease your way up. And as you come up, take the feet, bend both knees, have the feet wide, and we'll do seated windshield wipers, gently rocking the knees side to side. Lean as far back as you want. Just unwinding. The knees can go as far to each side as they wish. And when you're ready, come gently up to a standing position. And although we're standing, we'll be folded forward, again using this idea that when we fold forward, when we get a little inverted, it has a calming effect on us. So with the feet wide apart, the feet are facing mostly forward. You can be not so wide or you can be quite wide as long as you're steady and stable with the width of the legs. And as you fold forward, you can adjust. So if your body's like, yeah, not too much upside down for me today, then employ your chair and the blankets on top of it, and you'll turn it into more of a horizontal torso, right? You can go a little wider with the feet. You can go more bent with the knees if you want to take a bit of the upside down out of it. If you like the upside down, but you want to kind of moderate the effects, adjust the height according to what feels right for you. And you're also adjusting the height to what feels right for your hamstrings too, right? So if you want, if your hamstrings are, amenable to this, take the feet wide enough that you can place the crown of your head resting on a stack of blankets or a yoga block or blocks, whatever you have handy. I've got my arms set up as if I were getting ready for a tripod headstand, but they're not really doing a lot of work. They're just providing a little extra sense of, being stable and grounded. And breathe. Let the back of the neck be long. And check out where the shoulders and the shoulder blades are. If the shoulders are kind of falling down towards your ears, consider lifting your shoulder blades up towards the ceiling, up towards your bum a little bit, so that the shoulders, the space between the shoulders and the earlobes is a bit more generous. Take a few more breaths there. And slowly and gently ease your way out. So our holds are a little longer and we're in a bit of an inversion. Take your time as you come to a more upright position. And eventually make your way to standing for a moment. And you'll stand. I'm gonna kneel just so you can see what's going on with my arms. Roll the shoulders. Good. And then come to tabletop. Our next pose can be done either with legs like tabletop or legs like down dog. The head gets a bit of support. So if I'm doing the tabletop variation, kind of kneeling puppy variation, I'll reach my arms forward and again use that blanket or block support, something where my forehead can rest and the back of the neck can get long. If you're choosing to do this from down dog, the idea is the same in the work of the neck. And only choose this if down dog is kind of comfortable.
If it's really a lot of work, I'd recommend the kneeling version, but it's up to you. You could try one and then decide once you're in there. All right? So you choose. I'm on my new mat that I just got at the studio yesterday, so it's really slippery. So I'm going to do a kneeling version because down dog doesn't feel especially secure at the moment. And breathe here. And take about 5 more breaths in the variation that you've chosen. And then gently ease your way into child's pose. And this can be with or without the blanket underneath the head. Go with what feels comfortable in your body. Knees as wide as they want to be, hips as far back as they want to be. Forehead resting and arms relax. And let the body settle into the fold. Little soft zigzag of child's pose. Easy in the neck and the jaw. And start to press the floor away and slowly come up. As you come up, come to a seated position. From any seated position you like, gently arch and round the spine. Move lightly with the breath. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling, drawing the navel in. And just like that, take your time. Return to upright and make circles. And here again, since our emphasis is a bit more on the cooling side, take your time with the circles. Move generously. Take your time with the breath as you're moving. And go the other way. And return to center. From here, we'll do a supported bridge pose. And oh, hello, Kitty. Would you like to demonstrate? Our supported bridge pose, if you want to add a little extra bit of upside down to our, like in bridge pose, our pelvis is up higher and then our shoulders and our head are down lower, but usually the shoulders and the head are down at the same height. If you want to create a little more of a like cascading like third step with the head, open up your blankets about like that. Put the neat edge of the fold
where your shoulders will be, your upper back and upper back, mid back, low back, maybe your bum, depending on the size of your blanket, will rest here. And then you might have two blankets, unless your cat has one, because she's in charge of me. And then if you have a block, grab your yoga block and have it handy to go in its usual position underneath the pelvis. And then I'll show here. Now, if you don't want that extra little bit of the head being lower than the shoulders, omit the blanket. It's not an absolute requirement. It just adds a little touch of extra upside downness to the body once we're in bridge pose. So the blanket, you guys see this? The blanket is right about even with the shoulders. The main thing is that your head, your neck are not on the blanket. They're directly on your mat. However high your blankets are, your head and your neck are not on them. Head and neck are directly on the mat, and the blanket is right kind of at the line of the shoulders. It's not like underneath. Sometimes we do this to make a back bend. We're not doing that. This is to make a little bit of a down step. And once you get the blanket situated under the shoulders and smooth underneath your back, pick up your bolster, or your, rather, you could use a bolster. Pick up your block or whatever you're using for your yoga block. Knees bent. I'm going to come up on my toes to get a little bit of extra height. And then rest your pelvis, the back of the pelvis and the sacrum, on your block. And if this feels just fine, you will stay there. Your arms can go wherever your arms want to go. Sometimes the presence of the blanket will determine what is comfortable for the arms, right? If it feels like some angles are awkward. And then just check in. Check in. How's your body receiving this position right now? Are there any sensations that, for the sake of safety or overall comfort, any areas that you want to attend to? And we'll stay here for a little bit, and you can choose. You might stay in your supported bridge pose as it is. You might bend one knee at a time and lift the feet off the mat and take your legs in the air. It's an option. Nothing is required. See what your body prefers. The legs in the air add another level, if you will, to that stepping down, cascading shape of the pose. And there may be a sense of more pressure in the neck or the head, and that's actually part of what makes this work. The increased pressure at the bottom of the pose, and your head and your neck are truly at the bottom of this pose. If it is not comfortable for you, if you don't like that, you can always bring the feet down, bring the legs down, take the blanket out, bringing the body to a more even position rather than having a height difference between the high point and the low point. And follow the rhythm of your breath. See if you can feel the breath moving the sides of the rib cage. Can you sense the way the breath moves
the shoulder blades. Now, if your legs are elevated, slowly bend the knees and touch down one foot at a time. When you're back in supported bridge pose, press into the mat with your feet and slide the block out from underneath the hips and slowly lower yourself down. Pause for a moment there. See how that feels. Let the breath flow in and out. And when you are ready, you'll slowly roll over to one side. Remove the blanket. If you don't have a blanket, you can stay where you are because we're going to come right back down, lie on your back, and take happy baby. So remove the blanket from beneath the back, lie down again, and come into happy baby. And you might rock in your happy baby. Good. Now gently release your happy baby and come over onto one side. And you can choose. So if it's comfortable to stretch out long, and let's see, I'm going to stack 2 blankets and make that the support for my top shin. So the bottom leg, let me move it out of the way. We start with both legs stretched out like we're kind of on a knife's edge. Then the bottom leg stays where it is, stretching out, and the top knee bends and comes up, so the whole, as much as you can, support the leg from like the knee to the foot. So this leg doesn't hang in the air, it has something right there. If you don't have something, a pillow or blanket handy, you can roll a little further and have the knee and the shin rest on the floor. Use either your hand to cradle your head or a pillow underneath your head. And take the top arm out in front of you. Very gently, very slowly, open up the arm, unfurl the arm as you come into a twist, and then return. Now you can choose for our practice today if your body would like to do this with a straight arm, like you're opening and closing a hardcover book, then do it like that. If you want to pull back with a bent elbow like you're drawing a bow and arrow, you might do that. In both cases, the aim is the same. The arm is a helper. It helps us set a steady pace, and it helps facilitate the twisting and then the untwisting in the spine. The spinal twist is really what we're after here. The next time that you open up and you're in the spinal twist, stay there. Stay in your spinal twist. Your arms can go wherever they would like to go. See that your head and your neck have adequate support to make them comfortable. And let the breath flow in, fill you. Relax the shoulders as the breath flows out. Breathing in gently, filling up. And take your time with the exhale, letting go. Gently ease yourself back over to your side and then change sides, bringing the support over to that side with you. Change any way you like. And as you come over to the other side, stretch the body out long on your side, almost a sense of balancing on that edge of the side edge of the body. Keep the bottom leg stretched out. Support the bent knee on the whatever. And then take the top arm and start to move with the breath. Inhaling as you're opening up into the twist. Exhaling as you're coming back onto your side. Yeah, if you find that there's like some other furniture in the way, since we brought all this other stuff close to us, feel free to move to where you have all the room that your body would like to have to move freely. Inhale to open. And exhale to fold back in. And just like that. A couple more times. And when you're ready, open up and stay in the twist. The arms can be close or wide. One arm can do one thing, the other can do its own thing. And position the support beneath the head so that your head and your neck are comfortable if there is support there. Invite the breath to fill you up. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. And take a few more breaths right here. When you're ready, gently come over onto your side. And feel free to nudge the support under the legs, bend both knees, and press yourself up. For our next pose, you'll have a couple different options depending on how much upside down business you would like to do. So, one option is to find your wall and take your legs up a wall. That'll give you your legs the experience of being upside down, but without turning the torso upside down. So, if like if you don't like that sense of like pressure in your neck, or it makes you woozy to have your torso upside down, your head low, then legs up the wall may be a nice option for you. If your body is comfortable in halasana or plow pose, this next pose is a supported version of plow. So I'll show that. And if you're like, yeah, no thanks, remember, legs up the wall is there, or you can do another supported bridge if you liked that. So this one's a little weird looking. So please exercise all appropriate caution. And if anything about this feels like, oh, I could be in trouble here, don't do it. Choose one of the other things. Keep yourself nice and safe. So I'm going to take my blanket and again put the neat edge toward the chair. I'm going to use 2 blankets to make a little bit of a higher platform. And once again, the alignment will be the same. I'm going to have my back on here and my head downstairs. My head will be directly on the blanket. This chair seat is here because as I come up, I may want to put my legs in the chair. I might not. Let's see how I feel today. So that's the part that's like halasana or plow pose. Now be careful, right, as you're getting in here, because part of the deal is if you're aligned well, your head will be underneath the front edge of the seat of your chair. So don't bump your head. Shoulders right about on top of the blanket. And then from here, you choose, right? If you're like, oh, I don't know about taking the legs over, right? And whoops, I haven't got myself set up right. Hang on, guys. Sorry. I just realized I'm losing my pants and I'm losing my everything. I can't get my parts all situated. I may not do the lift for you guys. Oh yeah, I won't today because my back is tweaky. So I'm going to offer this as an option. If plow is happy for you, you can take your legs up to it. My back says no today, so I'm going to listen to that. The other options are you can leave the blankets like that, grab your block, hang on. Don't bump your head on the chair seat like I did. Put your block underneath the pelvis. You've got your supported bridge. If you're doing that, you can move the chair out of the way so that you don't have it in your face. And then, of course, the third option is legs up the wall. And we'll be here for maybe a minute. Legs up the wall, legs in the air, supported bridge, or plow pose over a chair. Or another variation that you made up. Breathe while you're here.
Now, from whatever position you are in, slowly make your way closer to ground level, right? If you're in halasana, bring your legs back over. If you're in the supported bridge or with the legs lifted, return to your supported bridge. Take the support out from underneath. Slowly curl your way down. Rock over to one side. Pause for a few breaths while you're on your side. And slowly, gently press your way up to seated. So our last pose, you'll have the option to do Shavasana. Well, you always have the option of doing Shavasana any old way you want, any way that your body wants to. Um, Among our options today are Supta Baddha Konasana, reclining bound angle. So, if you have a bolster with you at home, start with a bolster out lengthwise. If you're using folded blankets or towels, fold your blankets long like that. Alternate the neat side, right? Because if you're folding towels or blankets, one side will be a little more bulky and the other side will be a little more narrow. So if you alternate them, you'll wind up with hopefully an even stack. Now, if you've got a stack of blankets, you're going to slightly offset. Can you see that this is the upstairs blanket, the downstairs blanket, and then the bottom step is the mat? There's a little stair step here, and that's going to give me some extra room. The last thing I'll want from this backrest is a headrest. So you can make it either two ways. If you've got a bolster, grab some extra pillow or blanket, put it across the top. That's your headrest. If the props you've got here are the only ones you've got, like I've got these two blankets, how to make them go a little further is you roll this top one, take the very back edge of it, and roll it underneath. If you roll it the other way, you'll have like that unkempt edge at your neck. So roll it this way, it'll be soft. If you're taller, you may need to stagger your blankets a little more to get that headrest in the right spot. And finally, if you've got some blankets or some blocks, they'll be for the knees and the legs. So, Baddha Konasana legs, soles of the feet together, knees wide apart. I'm showing the leg position, but you're going to lie down when you do this. It's just easier for y'all to see. And then the support goes underneath the legs. As you lie down, the main comfort and positioning adjustment as you go back is when you ease yourself back, the blankets, the bolster, none of it should be like poking into your low back or feeling like you have to make a sharp turn or too much back bend. It should feel, it's a little bit of a lift, right? Higher on the top and lower on the bottom. But it should overall be pretty gentle, a gentle lift and feel comfortable. And once you've got the upper body support all situated, right? Your head and your neck are okay there. The amount of lift is all right. Where your arms are going to be is kind of situated. Then take a moment and place your blocks for the legs or whatever's underneath the legs. So this is one of the key poses in restorative yoga. It's also
one of the few yoga poses that you can do right after eating, especially with the support. With the incline, it can create some space. And as you relax, the body can then focus on digestion as well as relaxation. They go nicely together. Let the support beneath your back gently lift you, and allow the heart to blossom and the shoulders to melt around the edges of the support. Remember, you can always change the support if your body requests it. And let the breath flow gently in. And let the breath flow gently out. Swallow and relax the throat, the jaw, the cheeks and the eyes. Let the tongue relax in the mouth. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the belly. Allowing the abdomen to move freely with the breath. As the muscles of the abdomen relax, and the belly is free to rise and fall. Our diaphragm begins to move more, and it's like we're giving ourselves a massage on the inside. Massaging the heart, massaging the lungs, and encouraging the digestive system to work freely. to receive nutrients, to process, to let go of anything not needed. The inner groins rest, the inner thighs lengthen, and the legs might feel a little heavier as they release and relax into the support beneath them. And stay right here, allowing each and every cell to receive the deep benefits of your practice. Very gently deepen the breath. Move the fingers. And if the knees are out to the sides, gather them in, walking the feet a little apart and Stretch the legs out. Take your time. There's no hurry. Stretch the legs out long. Stretch the arms any way they'd like to stretch. Couple of deep breaths, yawning. Move the head a little. When you're ready, bend the knees once again. This time, scooch and wriggle. Now, if you're coming up off support, it's your choice whether you kind of wriggle and scooch and stay on the support or you rock over and off the support. If your support is high, you may wish to stay on it. So bend the knees, roll to the side, go slowly. Your bottom arm might become your pillow. And then slowly press up. And as you take your time, pressing up to a seated position, find any upright position of your choosing. And sitting tall, closing the eyes, checking in for a moment. And bring the palms together in front of the heart. Inhaling, lifting the heart. Exhaling, lowering the chin. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe and resilient. May you be as cool as possible on these warm days. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne.
Have a lovely rest of your day.
You too.
And I'll
Thank
see
you.
you
You
next
too. See you tomorrow.
time. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.